Let's get started. Taking a few cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Noticing the muscles in our faces soften and our shoulders melt away from our ears. And let's start bouncing straight away. Eyes open or closed. Let's shake up the energy that we're bringing with us to today's class. Swaying the arms, maybe lifting the feet off the ground, shifting the weight, maybe even the neck. Breathing in new energy and curiosity for today's practice, and exhaling any judgment, competition, or expectation. No drama, we're just going to flow today and not worry about what we look like. And let's just start shaking the leg and the hands. And forward and back. Nice. Above the shoulders, side to side. Forward and back. And bring them back down. Maybe a little bit of a hop. Really going for it today. It's Easter long weekend. A little more vigorously. 5 more seconds. Shrug those shoulders. Good. And we'll resume stillness. Running through a body scan, getting a sense of the mood of the body and the energy that might now be coursing through our veins, head to toe. And then noticing the rhythm of the breath. Setting an intention for today's practice if you like. Perhaps the reason that you came to the mat today. And with our hands on our hips, we'll do small hip circles to start, opening the legs outwards. Starting to get a sense of the sensations in the hip muscles, in the joint. As small or as big a circles as you like. We'll slowly work on our stability, challenging our bodies as well as our minds, finding somewhere to gaze at to help our stability. 1 more on each side. And then we'll close. So drawing the knee back, around, and planting the foot. Very good. Honoring the state of our body in this moment. 1 more on each side. Good. And we'll start pumping the legs at the same time as the arms, if that's comfortable for you. The arms can float along the sides of your body as well. Feel free to travel a little bit if you need a little extra challenge or a change of scenery. We can travel right here on the mat. Bringing the knees directly in front of us. And then we'll open up a little bit more on an angle. And back to center. Good, last one. Bringing the feet back down. We're going to circle our leg and come into a crescent lunge, circling the leg back and then crescent lunge. Finding a flow that works for you. Again, no drama, not worrying about what we look like. planting the foot or keeping it hovering. One more on this side. Good. And then we switch to the other side when you're ready. Circling, tapping down or hovering. Real stability builder today, as well as some strength of the lower body. Three more. And back to center. Shake it out. Very good. Stepping wide on our mat. We're going to do a reverse curtsy. So this time lifting the leg up and then stepping back. Lifting the leg to 90, stepping back. So keeping the hands either in prayer or on our hips. Finding a rhythm that works for you. Challenging your stability while creating new neural pathways and brain cells, as a matter of fact. One of the very few ways that we can generate new brain cells is through stability and balance moves. Oh, let's do one more. Warming up the core and the lower half. Give it a little shake. And then we'll switch sides. Hey. Other leg to 90 and reverse. Good job. Coming up on the balls of the foot. Tapping down anytime you need. Maybe activating the Ujjayi breath to help calm our inner balance, calming all of the excitement that we're generating, the energy. One more. Back to center. Go ahead and shake it out. Oh, yay. Coming into mountain pose. Feet are firmly planted under our hips. We're going to bring the right foot over top of the left. And we'll sink down into a single leg chair, pigeon. Once again, finding our drishti, somewhere to gaze at. Tall upper bodies, pressing the palms together and feeling the elongation of the spine from tailbone through to crown of head. Feeling the grounding of the foot, all four corners of the foot pressing into the mat. Drawing the navel back through the spine. And maybe even feeling the right knee pressing away. Good job. 3 more breaths. And on the next inhale, we press all the way up. Good. Stepping that right foot behind us, grabbing onto the right wrist, and we side bend. Elongating the spine again, elongating the side of the body, breathing deeply, and creating space between the ribs. Maybe even feeling it a bit in the abdomen. Noticing the rhythm of breath. Equal parts inhale to exhale. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good job. Switching over to the other side. So we bring the left foot off the ground, crossing it over the right knee. And when you're ready, go ahead, lowering down into a single leg chair pigeon. Again, pressing the palms together, lifting our chest and our shoulders lower. And feel the spine elongate while we press the left knee towards the mat. Finding our grounding through our right foot. And checking in, doing a reverse body scan from foot to head. Noticing our alignment. Shake it out. We didn't bounce long enough. Good job. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, bring the left foot out and back around, grabbing onto the left wrist. We elongate, reaching tall. And open up not only the left side, we really want to create space in both sides of the waist. Breathing deeply to create space between the ribs. Two more breaths. And on the inhale, we come all the way up. Release the feet. Exhale, hands to heart center. Yay for that. Shake it out. Good, we have one more really good dynamic move with our feet. So we'll come up to the front of our mats. We're coming into a floating warrior 3 with a crescent lunge. So we're going to cactus the arms this time on the inhale, and then we'll crunch in on the exhale. So on the inhale, we'll step our foot back. On the exhale, we crunch in. You're welcome to come to standing. You're welcome to crunch. You're welcome to extend. So warrior 3 ultimately is either a power warrior 3 or arms extended. You have the option, though, of course, to bring the arms out, to cactus, to shorten the lever, to protect the lower back. So see how it feels for you. So when we're ready, we'll go ahead and float through. Small, small, lifting that back foot off, and then crunching it in. You have the option, of course, to tap the foot down at any time. When we float through, finding a flow or a hold that works best for you today. When you're ready to hold your warrior 3, go right ahead, finding a pose and a placement for the arms. Perhaps you want the arms to come to the sides. Perhaps you want them to go out in front. Rotating the right hip so that it is square to the mat. The toes are pointing the floor. Bringing the hands down to the mat, single leg splits, stance, lifting the right leg up as much as possible. Pressing the hands into the mat, knee can be bent on the left leg, tucking the chin to chest. Bringing the right foot down to meet the left. Bending the knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, swooping the arms all the way up. Hands together. And to heart center on the exhale. Good. Let's do 3 vinyasas in between. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, swoop all the way up. palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. And we'll do 2 more like that. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, swoop all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. 1 more time. Going to the flow of your breath. Bending the knees as much as needed. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. And we reset here, deep breaths in and sigh it out. We'll do our floating warrior on the opposite leg. So again, when you're ready, go ahead and start floating the leg up and behind, and then starting to hinge the torso forward. Maybe engaging the arms, opening them up. Powerful poses here today, dynamic movement, not only activating the Ujjayi breath, but every fiber in our bodies and our minds. Do 1 more. And then we'll float into a hold, finding a position for our arms, noticing the hips are squared to the mat. Foot is flexed, toes are pointing to the floor. Floating the arms either to the sides in cactus or ahead of us, listening to our bodies. There's no competition. One more breath. And then we plant our hands on the floor in front of us, lowering our chins to chest and lifting the left foot off the mat, letting it float up to the sky. Two more breaths. Lower the left foot to the mat, bending the knees, forward fold. Grabbing the inside of our elbows, and we'll shift our weight left to right. Breaking up any blocked energy in the back of the legs, maybe even all the way up to the lower back. We'll be happy to know that the intense leg work is done. Good. Finding some grounding and stillness here, hanging in our forward fold. We'll plant the fingertips in front of us again, about shoulder width apart. The feet can be hip width or just a bit wider. We're going to crouch all the way down into Malasana squat. Inhaling. Exhale, we stand back up with our legs, pressing the knees away. Chins to chest. Floating back down. Inhale. And on the exhale, we come back up, forward fold, extending the legs and the arms, lowering the chin to chest. Floating through these two poses. Inhale and exhale. Working into the back of the legs. Stretching them out, breathing the hamstrings long. Or if stillness is what you need, of course you can hold your Malasana squat or your forward fold. And we'll do one more. And then we come all the way down into Malasana squat, walking the feet out slightly, bringing our palms together, using the elbows to press the knees away and to elongate the spine, lifting the chest. Option of an arm bind here. Do some chest openers while we're here. So planting the left hand in front of us underneath our faces. Inhaling, we'll lift the right arm to the side. Engaging the lower back as well as the mid back and shoulder blade. Exhale, lower the right hand, replacing the left. Inhale, open up the left side. Gentle rotation as you press your forearm into the thigh. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, opposite arm. Reaching up to the sky. Exhale, we replace and switch hands. Again, going to the flow of your breath. Gentle rotation. Working the back muscles. Two more on each side. Big reaches. Expanding the rib cage laterally with each inhalation. Last one. And we'll lower all the way down into all fours. The hands are underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. Go ahead and shift side to side. Shifting our weight. Maybe starting to bend into it. You may feel this in the hips as well as the lower back. Allowing the head to flow with the movement. Coming back to center, we'll do a few simple cat-cows. On the inhale, leading with the tailbone, we start to lift the tailbone and then rounding the vertebrae, lifting the chest to the shoulders, inhaling, looking up. Again on the exhale, starting with the tailbone, rounding it out, following by each vertebrae, neck and head, looking back towards the feet. Inhaling. Floating and gazing upwards. And exhale, we round out, tilting the pelvis and engaging the abdomen. On the exhale, inhaling, we stretch the abdomen back out. And exhale, we round out. Float through a few more of these. Finding grounding in our hands. Elbows are rotated forward. As if we're opening jars with our hands. Slow and purposeful, feeling the space between the vertebrae. Three more. pressing into the shoulder blades as you press away from the earth. Last one. Good. Bringing the toes underneath us. We'll press up into down dog on our exhalation. So deep breaths in. And then exhale, press up. And go ahead and pedal the feet or shift the weight left and right, whatever feels best for you today. Finding the grounding of our hands on the mat, pressing one heel into the mat at a time. Feeling the pendiculation in our feet and our ankles. Pressing both heels towards the mat. And we're going to do a set of planks. Lifting the right foot all the way off the mat. We're coming into a plank, bringing our right knee to the right elbow, crossing it over to the left, back, and then we extend. Repeat the same motion on the same leg, coming back down to our elbow, across, elbow, and extend. Finding your flow, suits your breath and your ability today. Noticing the left heel drive back towards the mat as you extend the right leg long. Coming into child's pose at any time you may need a rest. Listening to our bodies. We'll do 2 more. Good job. Lowering the right foot down to the mat, coming all the way into child's pose. Indeed, grabbing a sip of water in between if you like. We're going to extend the arms long, sink back towards the heels, shifting left to right, and maybe bringing the back of the hands together, pressing the fists in together, stretching out the wrists between sides, just getting a little bit of a rest on the wrists. It does take time to build up the strength of our wrists. We want to go slowly and gently. Stretch them out in between. Good. And on the next inhale, we'll draw ourselves back up into all fours. Yes. Deep breaths in, and on the exhale, we'll curl our toes back under our shins, lifting ourselves up into down dog. Good, and this time let's shift the weight left to right. Noticing, maybe even rotating the hips to the sides. Noticing any tension that may be running from the lower back through to the ankle or past the knees. Just checking in with the sensations that we may be feeling. And coming back to center. This time focusing on the left leg, lifting the left leg off the mat on the inhale. Holding here for a breath. And then on the next inhale, we come into plank, bringing our left knee to left elbow. floating it across to the right, back to the left, and we extend, pressing the right heel towards the mat. Floating through on the inhale to our plank, and on the exhale we extend the left leg high. Looking back underneath ourselves to the left leg as it floats high. And again, just stimulating and activating our vestibular system. Resting in down dog or child's pose at any point your body needs. Otherwise, we do 2 more. And then we lower our left foot down to the mat. Very nice. Staying here in our down dog just for a few more breaths, lifting our left hand and reaching it back around the right knee, right shin, what have you. Noting the diagonal pattern going through our body, pressing through the right hand. Resetting our breath to equal lengths of inhale to exhale. One more breath. And then we bring the left hand back down, reaching the right hand around the left shin, left knee, as far or as deep as you can. Focusing on the breath. Allowing the head to hang heavy. Good. Bringing both hands back down to the mat. This time in child's pose with the knees wide on the mat, toes are together. Oh, and again, bringing the back of the hands together, maybe this time over the head, resting the wrists. Well done. That was not easy. A real challenge tonight, but we're doing it. Taking a moment to remind ourselves how fierce we are, how determined and driven we are to get to the mat and to do our best. As we do our best, putting in our best effort to everything we do. Congratulating ourselves. I have one more pose for you on our hands. So drawing ourselves one more time back up into all fours. And your option here is to come into a crow pose. So here you may actually want to grab a block, however it's not necessary. So preparation for crow pose, coming down into our hands, or you can come into happy puppy or doing it on our arms. There's a load of options here. I'm going to come up today and bring my knees up, lowering my hands, and then slowly bringing my toes off to see how I'm feeling today. We've also got preparation for shoulder stands, which we can do this and come up into a puppy. So picking something that might work for you. The goal at this point is just to challenge yourself and to develop your practice for an inversion of some sort. You don't have to be inverted today completely, but let's try something. So one option is coming into puppy pose, dolphin, or crow. Right? So pick something that expands your practice, or of course you can hang out in child's pose, or you can hang out in down dog. I'm going to kind of see how I'm doing in crow today because it's been an awfully long time. And I just feel like maybe it's time to challenge myself again. So again, if you want to block, we would put the block underneath the toes and then slowly start lifting the toes. You want to dig the knees into the armpit as high up on the forearm as possible. And then just challenge, seeing how long we can keep our toes off the ground. Maybe one today, maybe both. Or maybe just working on our wrist strength. I wore the wrong pants for this today because I'm slipping off my arms. But I am determined. Good job. It's good to play. It's good to play.
Really weak arm.
So we keep building up every chance we get. Very good. When you're done playing, feel free to come back into child's pose one last time. This time maybe in embryo, to allow the arms to extend along the sides of our legs. Maybe even bringing the hands on top of the back, interlacing them. Lifting the hands and arms above the back. A nice way to stretch out the arms, the wrists, and the hands. Deep breaths in, helping to massage the muscles in the chest, the arms, and the back. And when you're ready, go ahead and lower the arms. We're going to finish today in prone pose, walking our arms forward and our feet back, taking one last sip of water as you like. Coming all the way down on our belly. Of course, if this isn't something that's comfortable for you, you're welcome to go on your back. We're going to start by extending our hands all the way out as wide as we can underneath our chin. Crossing them over, and slowly, as you're able to lower the chin over top of the arms, we settle into the pose, stretching the fronts of the arms, playing with the hand position. You're welcome to press the palms down into the floor or turn them upwards, depending on what feels best for you. Allowing the head to hang heavy over top of the arm. Noticing the hips and the lower back melt towards the mat. Noticing the breath in the belly. The belly expands with each inhalation. And then on the inhale, we'll lift our bodies up, releasing the arms, bringing them down underneath us so that the shoulders are right under our chest. The hands are palms facing down. This time, we lift our chest up into cobra, expanding the abdomen and a gentle back bend. Deep breaths in, this time drawing the breath all the way through to the spine. Resting the elbows, lifting the chest. The ears are far away from the shoulders. Last breath here. As we lower down, we cross the opposite arm over top. Do you remember which one that was? I think I do. Reaching as wide as you can. Pressing the hands down. And then floating them palms up if you like. Seeing how that feels. Lifting the head long, extending the neck. And lowering the chest and the chin over top of the arms. Once again, noticing where the breath enters the body. Rising and falling sensation of the abdomen. The pressing of the abdomen into the mat. Lifting our head on the inhale, bringing our hands back underneath us. This time, lifting ourselves up as an option into upward facing dog. Lifting the chest with the hands, lifting the thigh muscles off the mat. If that feels comfortable for you today, pressing the fronts of the feet into the mat, engaging the glutes to protect the lower back. Deep breaths in, and again, rolling elbows forward as if we're opening jars with our hands. Two more breaths. Cobra as an option. We're remaining prone, of course. And go ahead and lower all the way back down, gently lowering down using our upper body as control. Very good. Reaching our arms back long, lifting our feet off the ground with the heels. We're reaching back towards the ankles or the shins, trying not to torque our backs to get into position. Starting here, finding our breath. Option, of course, is to lift the thigh muscles, the chest off the mat into upward fold. Squeezing the glutes, helping to protect the lower back. Rounding the shoulders back, lifting the chest. Deep breaths in here as a chest opener. Feeling the stretch of the wrists, trying to keep the knees close, in line with the hips. And lower. Well done. Allowing the arms to fall along our sides, the chin comes to the mat, shifting our hips so that our lower backs can assume the natural position and curvature. Deep breaths here to reset. Making frog legs, lifting our feet once again off the mat, and this time opening our knees wide. The feet are together to engage the glutes. So again, keeping the chin on the mat as possible, engaging and lifting the legs by tightening the glutes. Reverse hip bridges. Two more. Good job. And go ahead and release the legs back down to the mat one more time to shift left and right. And sigh it out. A deep breath in. We reset, noticing what's happening in our faces and our jaws. Are we hanging on to tension that maybe isn't serving us? Can we let go of it? We're taking a moment here to reflect on any intention that we may have set at the beginning of our practice. Bringing our hands underneath our foreheads, and then just taking a few moments to rotate the forehead left to right, stimulating the vagus nerve, runs all the way down to our emotion center, taking an additional moment for some clarity in the mind. Maybe focusing on our third eye, visualizing our happy place. Maybe this is it. Bringing our attention to the smells, the temperature, all of the sensations of the moment. Bringing our arms back underneath us, hands are under our shoulders, curling our toes, we'll come into child's pose. Finish off our practice rounding out the lower back. Option to bring the hands again under the forehead, maybe stacking the fists. Just a final few moments here, enjoying our conscious rest and stillness, using these still moments and these quiet moments to integrate today's practice into our bodies, minds, and nervous systems. Breathing in vitality with each inhalation, excitement for the days ahead, and exhaling any residual tension that we may still be hanging on to, letting go of whatever doesn't serve us, creating space for new things to come in. With smiles on our faces, giving thanks for the opportunity to practice, giving thanks for this community, the strength of our bodies and our hearts, and giving thanks for something somebody may have done or said in recent days that made us feel loved, supported, or cared for. Taking our compassion with us into our bubbles and letting our light shine into our communities. And when you're ready, pressing ourselves up with our hands, coming back to the space around us. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.